Good day, brothers and sisters. Wisdom at Dawn, episode 318. Faith gives rise to practice, a limited understanding. Master says, while we are all humans, some of us have complicated minds, and some people have simple minds. The Buddha said sentient beings with limited capabilities are lost and confused due to ignorance and delusions. As in the sutra verse, those with limited capabilities are lost and confused. The obstruction of delusions and ignorance is their mind's hidden flaw. They proclaim their own virtues without reflecting on themselves. Thus, they lack remorse and shame. Master says we all have faults, which are our habitual tendencies. These habitual tendencies are influenced by our delusions and ignorance, which obstruct our nature of true suchness. It is precisely this slight obstruction of delusion, this flaw in our minds, that prevents us from seeing clearly. So we often proclaim our own virtues without reflecting on ourselves. That means we only want people to know of our strong points, but not our faults. When we have done something wrong, not only will we refuse to admit, we will make illogical arguments to prove that we did not do anything wrong. You see, wrongdoings are actually very common. The only difference is whether they are major or minor wrongs, large or small deviations. If we are without remorse or shame, then we will never be able to change. Thinking that we already know a lot, we are unwilling to advance in our practice. These type of sentient beings with limited capabilities are lost and confused, and they obstruct themselves. Master says there are people who have great talent but are very arrogant and proud, often marginalizing others due to the flaw in their own hearts. No one will be willing to work with them. Thus, to proclaim our own virtues without reflecting on ourselves is actually a very problematic thing. If we are unwilling to reflect on ourselves, then truly we will never be successful. Since we know the Buddha Dharma, we must quickly simplify things. A simplified mind is like a crystal clear and free of flaw mind. So do not retain defilements in our minds, as a pure mind does not obstruct itself or others. Thus, we must earnestly and constantly reflect on ourselves to stop this harmful behavior. Being remorseful, we will correct our faults. Being repentant, we can work well with others. If we are not remorseful or repentant, we will forever be lonely and find it hard to interact with other people. Now, at the Buddha's time, there were disciples who believed that they were dwelling in their final bodies and that they had understood the Buddha Dharma clearly. They thought that once they left that body, they would enter the great nirvana and free themselves from the cyclic existence. Master says, we may believe that we are in our final bodies. We may even believe that we have reached ultimate nirvana. We may think that we have understood everything clearly and that our minds are at peace. But truly, is that so? If we have not reflected on ourselves, nor earnestly contemplated on our nature, if we have not even done this, we cannot say that we have attained arhatship or we have become Prajika Buddhas. If we are so arrogant as to think that we have attained it all, we will not want to move ahead. And we will stop at the conjured city because we think that we have found the treasure. As the sutra verse said, they do not resolve to further seek anuttara samyak sambodhi. You should know that they are the ones with overbearing arrogance. When the Buddha announced that the small vehicle were only provisional teachings and he was now going to teach the true path, some in the Fourfold Assembly thought that they have attained and understood everything, so they did not resolve to seek the anuttara samyak sambodhi. The Buddha said that those who are unwilling to advance further are stopping at the conjured city and not reaching the true treasure. So we ourselves must earnestly reflect on ourselves. Do we want to simply stop here and no longer advance diligently? Supreme, perfect, and universal enlightenment is the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. A real Arhat would certainly have faith, would certainly believe in provisional teachings of the past and true teachings of the future. If they refuse to believe, then they are conceited and overbearingly arrogant. To stop at this stage where they are in, thus they are not considered as true disciples of the Buddha. As in the verse, if he does not believe in this Dharma, he has not attained that state. This means he did not truly attain the fruits of the two vehicles and is a person with overbearing arrogance. Master says, those who have truly attained the fruit of arhatship have already purified themselves and eliminated all their afflictions. After they eliminated the afflictions and focused on their own awakening, their minds are very pure. So surely they would believe in the Buddha's teachings. If they have given rise to overbearing arrogance, which are afflictions, could they be true arhats? True arhats have no obstructions. Therefore, if someone claims to be a real arhat but does not believe in this Dharma, whether he says he is an arhat or a Pratyeka Buddha, he has not attained that state. He is still overbearingly arrogant. The Buddha disavowed people like them, saying, these are not disciples of the Buddha. Since the Buddha has spoken so seriously, how can we not awaken? So we must really have deep faith in this Dharma. It is said that the Buddha gives teachings based on principles and capabilities. Those with overbearing arrogance do not believe in or listen to the right Dharma, as they are lacking karmic conditions, so they cannot be transformed by the Buddha. Yet, the World-Honored One still tirelessly adapts teachings according to conditions. Sentient beings are stubborn, and they obstruct themselves. People who do not believe in or do not hear the right Dharma are lacking karmic conditions, and they cannot be taught nor transformed by the Buddha. But the World-Honored One is patient and earnest. He does not abandon any sentient beings. Anyone can make mistakes, so he is forgiving of everyone. He still tries to guide and transform them. He awaits the opportune time to come and transform these people. He has to teach in accord with the changing causes and conditions. The Buddha works really hard for this. So we, as his disciples, we must vow to seek the supreme, perfect, universal enlightenment and not stop at our current stage. Nor can we be conceited or arrogant. We cannot lack faith. We must believe, because without faith in the great vehicle Dharma, we will not believe that we all intrinsically have Buddha nature. We will not believe that walking the Bodhisattva path to transform sentient beings is the way to attain Buddhahood. If we do not believe in this Dharma, we have not thoroughly understood these principles. So therefore, we must always be mindful to completely comprehend these principles. So please, always be mindful.感恩 for listening in. May we all achieve enlightenment for the benefit of sentient beings.